People of God, listen, I hope everyone is enjoying this beautiful day. The sun is out, it's shining bright. It's a pretty day. Listen, people of God, I want to tell you something. Inflation is steady creeping up, right? Today, you remember the fuel I showed you guys last night? Now, I remember when I used to pay like $2.89 for diesel, $2.49. But listen, since last night, I showed you how overnight the price went from $3.79 on, what's today? Today's Friday. So from $3.79 Wednesday, I couldn't remember what this, I haven't been keeping up with it like that. I know it's kept creeping up over time. But the price has, from $3.79 Wednesday to last night was what? I showed you $4.29, right? So today, in several spots, it has increased from $4.29 to $4.39 to $4.59. Some places it went up 10 cents, some places it went up 20 cents. I've never seen anything. I've seen it, rise over time, obviously from 2 something to going up 3 and then 4 over a period. But it's jumping so high, and it's like there's some people who are already starting to try and take the, how can I say it? Already started trying to take the piss out of the people. That greed. The greed is what brings everything down faster. You see what I'm saying? Because people's greed could cause what's already to be, kind of like a heaviness with the inflation or whatever. They can make it even worse, all because they love for money rather than, because people try to capitalize on things where they know that it's a short, and I have been needing to replace like the fuel injector, one of the fuel injectors, my number 2 injector, which they're all the same size and everything, but I've been needing to replace one of my fuel injectors. And so I've been just getting a warning that it's going bad, right? And I don't want to drive it too much longer like that. But I priced the fuel injector, and when I priced the fuel injector, I checked my local parts store where I normally get some of my parts, and they were like $640. I was like, you must be talking about something else. Maybe you have it wrong. Maybe you have the pump, because from what I've always known a fuel injector to cost and the price that I've known, even though I never needed one, but I've already researched the price some time ago, they were between $199, $300 at the high end, right? So between $200 to $300. And now she's saying $640, which I thought she made an error. So I called my buddy at one of my dealers, where I have a dealer's account, and I checked with him, which I know the dealer parts is always more expensive, but with my account that I have, they usually give me a discount. But he says it was $700 and something, but with my account it would be $640, the same price the young lady gave me. So I said, what the heck is going on? He was like, I had to double check, I had to double look at it to make sure I'm looking at the right thing. So apparently their systems have been upgraded to double this price. So I go online to my manufacturer, where I usually sometimes order parts from as well, put in the part number. Not only is it more expensive, but it's even double than what they've doubled up on. So they quadrupled on it. So for one fuel injector, they have it listed for $1,290 for one injector. Now I remember you could get all of your injectors. You get a whole kit, everything you need in it, for that price at the low end, $1,200, $1,300. It could go up to $2,000 to $3,000, but that would be for the entire kit with all the rails, everything you need in it, or just the 6 or injectors for $1,200 to $2,000. So you see what's happening here. Inflation. That's what inflation is. That's what inflation looks like. And that's also what greed looks like, because all of it is not just simple inflation. A lot of it is just greed. But that's what the times that we're facing, you know. So it's best, if we need anything, to try and get it now. Get anything that we need or that we think we're gonna need now, because these people are, you know, they're constantly raising prices. And with this thing, with the war that's going on, all of us are gonna feel the brunt of it. All of us are gonna feel the blunt of what these people are doing. So we must be prepared. We must be prepared, you know, and learn how folk lived back in the day during the Great Depression days. Research that now while we still have internet, you know, while we still have access to technology, and we can research certain things. Now is the time to learn, because it's ridiculous. It is ridiculous. Oh man, I don't know why I'm yawning. I need to go and have me some. I think I'm gonna go and take myself out to dinner tonight. I ain't been to dinner in a minute. I've been just working so much and being a busybody, but it was necessary. It was necessary. I think I'm gonna go and have me some nice dinner tonight. But anyway, people of God, we gotta brace. Sister Kimber, I mentioned about the golf cart, electric cart. See, now I remember when I posted a few videos back, I showed an alternative vehicle. It was an electric vehicle, and I drove it around. I showed you guys. I was at the port, where all those brand new vehicles were out there, and some people laughed at me. I like little weird things like that, but at the same time, I bet you some folk will be happy to have that little alternative vehicle with the way these gas prices is rising. You might well say we at $5, you know, $4.59. You might well say it's at $5, you know. And I heard one guy say, or a older gentleman, excuse me, who's prior military, saying that it might be up to $8. $8 by the midsummer, you know. So we just need to brace ourselves, people of God. Brace ourselves and use whatever resources God has given us. Use them wisely. Use them wisely to weather out the inflation that we're seeing, you know, to weather the storm. Don't try to be flashy, you know, don't try to keep up with the Joneses. Don't, just have everything you need. You know, have everything you need. I myself, I've never in my life been the type to compete with nobody or try to keep up with nobody. Nope. I always been in my lane. So, you know, the flashy things of life, none of that never really amazed me. Now, it's nice if back in the day when I used to have friends and folk that used to get nice things, I used to be so happy for them. You know, and I tell them, take care of that. Now, I like that. How you be happy. And if I got nice things, you know, I wish folk would be happy for me. But I never really was just really into a lot of things, flashy things, to try to be competitive. You know, if I wanted something nice, now I go get it. You know, or if I want to take myself out and if I want to look nice, I get bad when I want to. But I never did anything to compete with nobody, you know. So a lot of stuff, you know, there have been some people who got high blood pressure and got sick because they was fighting to keep up with the Jones. Y'all know what I'm talking about. There was some people, I seen older women compete with one another. One person go and get this high dollar car, then the next one, she go and get her one. I be like, well, dang, why don't y'all get something hot? Both, she got something hot. Why go get the same name brand if you would get something maybe high dollar, but get a name brand? I've seen folk do some crazy stuff, primarily women, just be competitive. You know, this one over here go and get a nice blazer, a nice hat. The next one got to go and get something nice, and it's like they be competing with fashion, competing with cars, competing with, you know what I mean? If that's what makes you happy, but I can't see how I wouldn't be happy if I had to, if that would, you know, that don't make me happy. Basically, I can't be happy like that. I'm just happy from the little simplest things, you know. So I said all that to say, use your resources wisely. You know, it's almost like, you know, the world speaks, the Bible speaks of how the, you know, a loaf of bread would be a day's wages. You know, the tactics of the enemy in this end time, and we see what these folk trying to do. Like I say, I think it's all war, this stuff. I think it's a distraction, and you know, this is the enemy's plan to try and squeeze folk into a tight place so that you be needy. You know, the enemy wants us to be needy of certain things, and when you need, sometimes people take advantage of you when you in need. It's sad, but that's the world that we live in. You know, when you in need, that's when folk sometimes will try and capitalize on that to keep you beneath them, you know, or keep you at a place of in a slave mind, enslaved state, you know, so you never come up. So we have to use our resources very, very wisely as we weather what we see occurring, and we trust our Father to continue giving us the provisions that we need day by day, and ask for wisdom, you know, and make sure that He's pleased with how we're using our provisions. He'll provide for His people. God will always provide for His people. You know, may not come exactly how we want things to be, but God is a God that's faithful. He's a God that's faithful. He's a God that shall not lie, cannot lie. He's not the Son of Man that He shall repent, right? So it's just some things to be mindful of, people of God. Yeah, it's just some things to be mindful of. I don't need no new pocketbooks. I don't need no new pocketbooks right now. I got everything I need, and majority of what I want, by the grace of God, you know. So just be mindful with your resources. All right, those are my little 2 cents. That's all. That's my little 2 cents. Your sister's about to take it in for this evening. Probably go and take a shower and find a nice place to sit down and have myself some dinner and relax my mind. All right, people of God, I love you. Have a blessed evening.